This week's Kickstarter Game of the Week is Court of the Dead Underworld Rising, a collaboration between Memorabilia and figure company Sideshow and new developer Arcade Distillery. As the name implies, Court of the Dead is all about zombies, monsters, and other form of Halloween creatures. It's the familiar tale of heaven versus hell, but with a twist. The realms of God and the devil aren't fighting for control over souls, they're fighting simply to annihilate one another. As the Kickstarter page says, mortal souls are little more than wisps of fuel for their mighty war engines. The player's role in all of this is to team up with Death, known as the All-Taker here, and his Court of the Dead. You see, Death is sort of the good guy here, determined to liberate the underworld, hence the name, and the mortal realm of heaven and hell's battles. Darkest Dungeons is a good comparison to make, not only for the look and the setting, but the combat as well. It's a 2D game, obviously, and the combat plays out in a turn-based fashion on a grid. Imagine a combination of Darkest Dungeons and, Mega Man Battle Network, as odd as that sounds. Judging from the Kickstarter page, it doesn't seem like development has gotten very far, though. At this stage, they've finished work on the engine and development tools, and that they're ready to begin work on the content itself. Sorry, but we didn't get an exclusive look behind the scenes or anything like that. You may be saddened to hear that Court of the Dead Underworld Rising will employ microtransactions, though. It is a free-to-play game, and as a result, the game itself obviously isn't one of the backer rewards. As the Kickstarter page states, the free-to-play approach will allow us to more easily build a large community of players and create opportunities to host events and tournaments. We will offer randomized loot packages called Crypt Coffers for purchase within the game. Crypt Coffers will contain a random selection of equipment, wearables, spells, followers, and pets. It will be possible to acquire all items available in Crypt Coffers through the game's single-player quests. This is something I talked to Conrad about, and while he didn't have a ton to say, he did kind of ease my mind a little. I figured it'd be all too easy to buy 1, 2, 3 of these Crypt Coffers and have the best items, weapons, and followers in the game and pretty much win at life forever. But from what he says, that isn't the case, especially with the followers. The followers will be standard, companions, and will unlock in the single-player mode, as the Kickstarter says. But they won't be super-powered or highly leveled up or anything like that. You actually have to play the game to level up your companions, as well as yourself, ensuring that any PvP combat is at least dictated by skill and how much time you've played, instead of just how much money you've spent. I know these pay-to-play games are always a sticking point, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't have some worries about it. I mean, how can you not, given how badly most of these games are handled these days? But just from talking to Conrad about these mechanics, I do have confidence that they can at least pull this off. All in all, Court of the Dead Underworld Rising looks like a fantastic game. A lot of people seem to agree too, as the game has already raised about $40,000 of its $350,000 goal at time of recording. So if any of you are interested in this, then go ahead and check out the campaign. I never know how to end these videos, and having this connection to the campaign kind of makes it worse. Mustaches are cool.